This is Bianca with Leaders in Business Podcast, where CEOs and executives in the digital marketing and social media space share their best advice. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know what they're talking about. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yep, my name's Roman Prokopchuk. I am a first-generation immigrant from Ukraine. I founded a digital marketing agency in 2012 after getting into digital marketing out of necessity. Out of the 2008 recession, I'm a podcast host, and personal life-wise, I am also a foster parent.
That's awesome. So what's the best thing about leading your business?
Well, I'm fully remote, so all I really need is an internet connection and, a stable internet connection, and everything else is basically self-taught, and building it is because I wanted to learn and kind of grow, and, the rest is kind of history.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hear from others that it can be challenging to grow your business today with everything that is going on. So what are the biggest challenges you see business leaders facing today?
Well, I guess with the pandemic and the lockdowns, I mean, brick and mortars, some of which are going out of business. Some businesses have to figure out how to actually market online because some of the marketing was traditional, let's say billboard, newspaper, magazine, that kind of thing. So really pivoting and figuring out where their audience really spends time online, or at least what I do, and how to reach them with the right message, and how does that, convert into the desired result that they're looking for.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So, what is the best advice you can give to other business leaders about creating a successful business?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm in marketing, so marketing is key, and figuring out where your audience or target audience spends the majority of their time online, and then giving them the right information that they can make a decision about how to choose your business over your competitors. So obviously, if you're in the B2B space, you want to be on LinkedIn over something, let's say like TikTok or Instagram. I'm not saying don't test there, but figuring out where your target audience is and reach them online in that manner.
Yeah, you mentioned about target audience. So, can you give just a little bit tips or 3 tips that you would give for a business leader to achieve that?
Yeah, so number one, figuring out who that is. So the persona, if you can't do it on a persona level, a specific audience segment, and if who you were targeting before, are they actually your target audience? Because a lot of the time, the persona that you thought were, the target, they're not necessarily your target audience. So figuring out the traits, the behaviors, and who they actually are is key to begin with. And like I said, if it's B2B, figuring out if they're on LinkedIn, if you're using social, where they are on social media, and what content resonates better with them. So, an older audience may like text, a younger audience may like shorter video form or audio. So figuring out who that target audience is, and then what content types they prefer, and then really delivering the message of who you are as a business and what you have to offer.
All right. So, what other successful business leaders like yourself would you like to acknowledge and should be on the podcast?
Yeah, I had someone actually a while ago on my podcast. His name is Henry Kaminsky Jr., and he's kind of self-made as well from the brand perspective, and he's really kind of accelerated growth of brands and how he promotes the image and the visibility of a brand online. And basically, he's grown tremendously online and in his craft. And since I'm self-taught and got into digital marketing out of necessity, I can kind of resonate from that point of view and that viewpoint.
Awesome. I'll look them up. So, now for the final fun question: who is the most interesting person to follow on social media and why?
I would say Gary Vaynerchuk, just for the perspective of motivational content and digital marketing, because he has a lot of helpful knowledge and helpful nuggets, and he has so much content. And I think there's something for everyone in terms of being motivated to achieve your goals, which is, one standpoint, versus him in marketing and how he basically promotes and grows brands.
Absolutely. So, it was a pleasure having you on. How can people find you?
Yep, if you Google Roman Prokopchuk, obviously it's a long last name, but I should come up number one on all social channels. Company website is novazoradigital.com, and then my podcast is the Digital Savage Experience Podcast.
Well, that's a wrap. This is Bianca with Leaders in Business Podcast. For more insights and ideas, go to our website, leadersinbusinesspodcast.com.